But one of the things that we need to understand is like, if we're going to stand out in Facebook or on TikTok or whatever other ad platform that you want to play on, it's not all that hard to stand out. Go to a grocery store, get a lemon, squeeze it into your cold water first thing in the morning. It'll start, activating your metabolism. And in about 30 days time, you're going to start to see the weight come off. If you just consider, like, that's easy to do. So the point is, like, when you're prescribing actions for people to take, make it as easy as possible. And when people understand that, they're going to start to see, oh, I could do this. And again, that's the whole forward momentum part of the lead magnet is I can do this. I believe in you. I believe in myself. I am making progress. It's easy to do. Frankie, what's next, man? Like, you just tell me what I need to do and I'll say yes to you. And that's kind of the overall objective there of the lead magnet.
Yeah. That sounds like, I know you gave a lot of the strategy behind it, but I wanted to kind of share just like a little personal anecdote on how we use that. So, for a lot of years, we were running ads to the personal injury lawyer space. And this required us, whenever we created a lead magnet, any of you guys know, test a lot of Facebook ads, never mind like the number of variations you got to test for ads. But the lead magnets themselves, like, literally just took us a long time to make, right? So we'd have a webinar we were testing, and then we try a different webinar, and it can sometimes take like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get all your slides and your research and putting everything in. And then, we're writing books and we're doing all these things to try and get people onto our list. And like, with the nicest I could say is that's a lot of fucking work, and it's slow to test the ads, right? Because you become the bottleneck. And I remember I came across your stuff, and you were talking about, like, in essence, the idea behind Sage is like, let's just engineer a quick little win for them. And so after having all these conversations with these lawyers, what I realized is, by and large, 80% of them got all their business from referrals. They had between 3 and 6 referral sources. And whenever I asked the vast majority of them, like, what did you do to make those referrals happen? The answer is like, nothing, right? Like, I just exist. And so, I get some referrals here and there. And so I started talking to a couple of friends that ran like kind of top injury firms. And I found, like, they did things more proactively. And by and large, there were 3 places they did things. One is they did certain things before somebody came in the office to generate referrals. So like, one of the simple things is somebody would call on the phone and they'd say, how did you hear about us? Who referred you? And then they would say, oh, nobody referred you us. We heard you online. But now we've implanted the idea that referrals are part of how we do business. Then there were things they did during the process of like little extras, little touches, things that resulted in referrals later. And then there were things they did after, like, hey, let me send you a copy of my book. If you know anybody, give them a copy of this book, kind of thing. And so we just made a little 1-page checklist that had things you can do before somebody walks in the office, things you can do during, things they can do after. I think there were like 26 things or something. I got them all from other attorneys. I didn't write a single thing. And we had, and to give you the psychology, like, we were running an offer that would help them kind of like get more referrals at the time as part of what we were doing. So the lead magnet is strategically leading into the thing that we're going to be selling later.
Exactly.
And then the flip side of that is, the ads are dog shit easy to write because you're just giving away the 26-point checklist. And now, like, I used to struggle with a blank screen of like trying to be super creative with ads. Do we need an image of a dog holding a briefcase, or should we try something in here and this and all these shenanigans that never fucking work, that just produce mediocre ads? And instead we could just like, hey, we're giving this away. And I think, what I've learned from you more than anything is when you see your ads and your offers as a point of giving, not as a, what do I need to say to get somebody on my email list? Like, the ads almost write themselves, right? Like, we created a 26-point checklist to get you all the referrals, and this is what the top law firms are using in the country. Even if you are a top law firm, I doubt you're doing all 26. Go download it. And they already know referrals work. And again, like, to your point, it's a 1-page PDF that they can use in 10 minutes, but also simultaneously leads into where we're sending them later. So I'd love to talk to them about this deeper idea of give, because that is the real secret. I'm sure you've read The Go Giver, or at least familiar with the methodologies kind of behind it. But I think many times in the internet marketing space, like, people are always looking for psychological triggers. And we talked about this off air a little bit, but one of the things you said is that the secret to showing people you can actually, like, that you can help them, is to actually help them.
I mean, it's such a novel idea, right? I mean, but to your point there, the internet is full of people making promises, right? And the promise is, hey, I can help you. Oh, you got a problem? I can help you. You want to lose weight? I can help you. Want to run better ads? I can help you. You want to do, and the contingency on that is, well, if you want me to help you, you've got to pay, or you've got to opt in, or you've got to do this, or you've got to do that. Like there's always a string attached to say, I'm promising you something, but in order for me to actually deliver on that, you've got to jump through all these hoops in order to do that. And so the beautiful thing about, like, part of why we say give is such a simple and novel idea. Like, and again, you nailed it on the head. Like, rather than just promising that you could help somebody, why don't you just help them instead and show them you can, and then trust that experience for the right person will take the next step with them. And if it doesn't, who cares? Like, it's being unattached to the outcome of you being a value provider in your marketplace. But one of the things that we need to understand is, like, if we're going to stand out in Facebook or on TikTok or whatever other ad platform that you want to play on, it's not all that hard to stand out, because everybody else out there is always taking, right? Now actually times have shifted a little bit. Times like with TikTok and Reels and Facebook and Instagram and all this, like there's the perception that people are giving value. And so for us now, what we really have to get to the bottom line is, and I think this is what just drives fundamentally my business, and doesn't mean that we might give up some short-term revenue for long-term gain. I think so. But at the end of the day is, if you could go into the mindset of, how can I outgive all my competitors? Like, if my only objective in business, if I only got paid by the amount of value that I provide to the marketplace, how would that change my marketing? How would that change my outreach? How would that change how I structure my offers? How would that change how I write my ads? How would that change on what I put out to the marketplace? Because for the most part, most of us as marketers and or business owners are thinking about the transaction. We're transaction driven. And I'm not saying don't be transaction driven. That's how we pay our bills. That's how we take care of our family. That's how we do
even
all
that,
those
I would
things.
say, like, if you do it right, your stuff is worth 10 times what you're asking for, and it's still a give in a higher level form. Yeah.
It is. And again, to that point, a lot of people have said it different ways. One way to look at it that I think is valuable to consider is, and Frankie, help me understand, the people who are listening to this, what are they? Are they agency owners?
Yeah,
Are they
largely
marketers? Are they business
agency owners. So they're running ads for other people, and some of them are running their own ads as well. And
okay, and they might be, if they're agency owners, are probably looking to get like more clients or whatever, ultimately at the end of the day. So that's perfect. Here's how I like to see value appropriation or value giving. Like, there's many ways to look at it, and everyone can be like, oh, just give. Yeah, that's fine. But in context, especially if you're an agency owner or any sort of service provider who has some sort of an element where you help someone get a certain result, the easiest way to look at this is, consider every piece of information you have as something that you could give away for free. Because your money is not made in the selling of the information. Your money is made in the execution of the information.
Yeah, exactly.
So if that's the case, and most people who are going to be selling high ticket here, or a service or an agency or whatever, you're not going to make money by selling a $300 course or some sort of information, when all your competitors might be trying to make money selling off that course. Something you said at the beginning here, which I really appreciated, and I appreciate you saying it, is, our free stuff is better than some other people's paid stuff. Yeah. If you go into that mindset of, like, when you put out something, understand two things. Number one, you don't make money on information. You make money on the implementation of the information. So all the information you have for somebody should be seen as marketing material that you could provide for free into your marketplace. And that would just add on that automatically. Yeah, please.
Because I'm not saying everybody in our space is dealing with local businesses, but probably the largest percentage are. And I always say, like, give away the ideas for free and charge for the implementation, which is the same thing you're saying, and just in different words. And, like, say you do Google reviews for plumbers. Like, if you just show them how to get Google reviews, like 9 out of 10 of those guys are not even going to want to attempt that themselves. They're just going to pay you and say, okay, that makes sense to me. Can you do this for me? And so I see a lot of times people being really tight and going, this is my proprietary system and blah, blah, blah. And actually the best thing you can do is abundantly give away the ideas, knowing that when it comes to the implementation side, that's where you're going to make all your revenue, because somebody's going to say, I saw what you did. It sounds great, but, like, can you just do that for me?
Well, I think that's where the scarcity mindset is right now for a lot of us, is like, if I just give away my best stuff, like, if I can tell people how to get a Google review, why would they ever pay me to do it?
Yeah.
It's because there's no way the plumber would ever think about spending the time to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So for me as an agency person, like if I teach people how to write great ads and do great ads and all that, what if that takes away from my business? The reality is, if they can take that information and do something with it, they would have never been a client of mine anyways, because they want to do it themselves. Okay, so be it. Do it.
And they
yourself.
turn into fans anyway. There's still other good outcomes. Like, we're talking because I grabbed your free shit and went and did some cool stuff with it.
That's just it, right? So whether or not they become a transactional partner of yours and they buy something of yours, even if they don't, you've built goodwill. They're going to refer you. They like you. They'll, who knows what can come of that.
Yeah.
But the other side is true. Like, we have to realize that in our day and age, the vast majority of people are lazy as fuck. Like, they are not going to do anything.
Hey guys, if you like this video, you'll also like my book on Amazon called Beyond the Agency Box, which you can also find by my name, Frankie Finn, and it's got a lot of awesome reviews. And it really just goes deeper on a lot of the things we're talking about, everything you need to grow and start a lifestyle agency, from the stages you'll go through to getting clients, to how to create winning offers, to high value deliverables, to wowing clients, to building teams, to building systems, and building a boring factory that's like a 7-figure money machine for you. So if you're interested, I put links for you in the video description, as well as it'll be in the pinned top comment below, and make sure to check those out.